What's up, everybody? So I am on my way to Harbor Freight to pick up a rivet nut tool. I am going to be installing a MillerCat shield for our 2008 Prius. Quick backstory: about, I think now, probably 2 months ago ish or so, they stole a catalytic converter off our Prius right off our driveway, and that was actually the second time they stole it. They stole it again they stole it for the first time in December, right before Christmas last year, right before I left on deployment. And then they stole it again once I got back from deployment a few weeks in. So yeah, I ordered this cat shield. I was like, you know what, I'm over it, not paying all this money all over again. If they're gonna steal it, I'm gonna make them work for it. So I did a little bit of research, and at the time, MillerCat, the company that makes these cat shields, which they make good cat shields, they only had one of the cat shields that's just like almost like sheet metal. It's not really sheet metal, it's pretty thick. It goes right in the bottom of the car, so it lays flat, and you just bolt it onto the car. And I didn't get it. I was like, you know what, we'll be fine, we'll be okay, it's not gonna happen again. It happened again. So I was like, you know what, let me look into those cat shields again. And I looked in, and they actually had a revised version, which their new cat shield encloses the whole catalytic converter over. And I'm like, okay, at first the design, I thought it was a little bit weird, but after I looked more into it, I saw that I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool, I like it. And I pulled the plug, I ordered it, and at first I was gonna pay a shop to do it, because I was like, okay, maybe I don't want to mess it up, especially something like, I don't want to install it incorrectly and then be able to steal it again. But honestly, today I pulled out the manual. I was like, well, let's see how hard it can be, and it looked very, very simple. I'm like, I can easily do this. So I had all the tools except for a rivet nut tool, and luckily there's a Harbor Freight nearby, so I'm on my way there to pick this up. And this video is going to be an install video on the MillerCat cat shield. So hope you guys enjoy this video and learn something from it. All right, just made it to Harbor Freight. Look at the sky, guys. Look at the sky. Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, just got to Harbor Freight. Let's find us a rivet nut tool. All right, so we found our rivet nut tool, which is pretty much a whole kit. I think it's like for $40 right now. So this will probably come in handy later for possibly wide body kits or so. So that's cool. Look at that. It's a pretty cool little set. So thanks, Harbor Freight. Now I'm doing the typical thing of just walking around and seeing what nonsense I don't need but want. So let's see if we see anything that catches our eye. I have been wanting a vise, but I got no place to put it, at least right now. And I don't even know what size I would need, but a future garage upgrade for sure. That and these over here. I used to have one of these. I don't know what happened to it, but these are rad too. Really good price too. Look at that. I need to know how many of you guys actually have one of these jacks, because I know this was my first jack. I know I have one of these. I know they got these. They're super cool, but have you guys seen these? Check these out. These even have rims, and you could even a little grease point in there. Check this out. I'm absolutely in love with this. Should I get it? Not right now, but this thing is so sick. This color is badass. Check that out. That is sick. Cool. Harbor Freight saving the day again. We got our, what is this called again? Rivet nut tool. Gonna get home. We're gonna piece together that cat shield. We'll do it step by step, and then we are going to install this. And hopefully, by the time I'm done piecing it together, the cat will be nice and cool. Should have probably driven the Z over here. Anyways, so much nicer driving the Prius, honestly. And then we'll just install it. Hopefully, it's an easy install. Ooh, we got dark quick, but let's go home. Alright guys, back at the house. We have our instructions, and we have our cat shield. We have all the screws, nuts, rivets we're gonna need. And let's see what we're working with here. We have the, what is this, like the deadbolt protector thing. So here's that thing. Put that to the side. This is one of the pieces of the new cat shield. And we're gonna have to piece together another piece. I think this is the piece that gets to the front. Yeah, this is the piece that goes to the front. these 3 holes right here that are in the front, hopefully you guys can see them. I believe those are the screws, or we're gonna end up putting screws through there after we add rivets to the car, I believe. So again, this should be really easy to install. I don't know why I psyched myself out, like, oh, you can build a drift car, but you can't put a cash shield in a car. So I hurt myself there. So here's the other piece. Let's start piecing this together. Again, made by MillerCat. Hopefully, I'm sorry if your cat already got stolen. If it hasn't gotten stolen, purchase one of these. They will help you out a lot. So let's dive into it and piece this together. All right, to go over everything that you're going to need to install this, again, they provide all the nuts and bolts, even the little tamper-proof, I believe this was called, yeah, tamper-proof screw or tamper-proof key bit. So you can see the little hole in there. If you guys have this, cool. If not, don't worry, they provide it for you, as well as all these tamper-proof bolts, obviously, that go with it. And then they give you, I think about 10 of these. You're only gonna need 8 for right now to piece this together, as well as they go in line with its bolt lock washer, if I'm correct, yeah. And then this is called the fender washer. So just have them ready to go like that. After that, pretty much is just install the big piece. That's considered the front, and then the rear piece obviously goes in the rear. Front is I don't even know how to orient this, but wherever these little gills are, that's going to be the rear. So wherever the back of that is, that's where the back piece goes, and the front piece obviously goes in the front. So let's piece this together real quick. So real easy, I just hand put these in here just to see how well it fits. It honestly fits really good. These will go on after. I'll put them underneath, and I'm missing one of these rib nuts on this side. Luckily they gave me an extra rib nut, and I got the rib nut tool, so I get to practice doing that on this. This is my first time opening this up, so let's look at this. Oh sweet, it comes with extra rib nuts too. Oh, that's cool. Okay, all different sizes too. Oh, this is sick. What are all these? I don't know what this is. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Oh, that's the different size rib nut. Oh, that's pretty neat. I have no idea how to use this, but I will learn. There are instructions. And this is cool. M5, M6, M8, 1/4 inch, 1024, 5/16. It's cool. So I'll figure this out, and then you guys can watch me install one rib nut on that. Cool. So hopefully you guys can see from here, but finally switched it over to the M6 head on the rivet tool. So this is where this is gonna go. It's gonna go right here, and then this thing is gonna like crimp it and make it stay there. So the best way to do it is you have the tool wide open. You put this in there, I believe. Yeah. You're gonna screw that in. You're gonna put it in, and then once you tighten this, hopefully the camera catches it, but it should pinch it. It's working. And there we go. And then you go to the back of the tool, give it a couple spinsies, and I've actually done my first ever rivet. I've never done one before, so you guys can see this. See how it pretty much got pinched in, and it got a little flat in comparison to how it originally is. Check it out. See how much longer that is? So that tool pretty much pinches it in, allows this to be in there and make it nice and secure. So here it is all assembled. I haven't tightened up anything. I got all the bolts just snug in there, as you can see. See, they're still loose, they're still loose. But this is pretty much how it's going to look like once it's all assembled. And these are the 3 pieces that go to the front that I'm telling you about. And then you're going to need the rivet tool to add some rivets to your Prius chassis using the rivet nut tool. But the cool thing about it is that you don't got to drill anything. The holes that these things go to are already in the Prius. We just need to add the rivet nut to it. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to use the tool provided again. These tamper-proof bolts are awesome. I'm going to use that and special tool provided. I'm going to get in there and tighten all these up. Cool. Oh gosh, dang it. It's not magnetic, so it keeps falling out. I already lost it once. But that goes in. And you're just trying it up. Oh, going the wrong way. I'm forgetting how to wrench, guys. Oh, I love that sound. There we go. First, I'm gonna make everything snug. And I'm gonna go back and retighten everything. But hopefully I'm making this video easy for you guys to follow. Help you guys out. Not get your cat stolen. I'm doing the bolts in the bottom now. If you guys can help me out, use this time to let you guys know. You can help out by subscribing, liking, leaving a comment, following our other social medias. You know, we have Instagram, we have a Facebook, and I recently created a Discord. My friends told me I should make a Discord. I made one, haven't done anything with it, but I gotta learn how to use that because eventually I want to make a drift sim up in the office. I'm starting to tighten all the bolts up again on this side, but I want to make a drift sim in the office like I told you guys in the previous video. And I think a Discord is used to allow me to talk to you guys a little better, right? Alright, making these nice and snug. Notice I'm holding it from the top so I don't snap these bolts off. I am prone to snapping bolts. So we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And at that point, I think I can start jacking up the car and getting under there and putting this bad boy in there. Alright, so we're at the bottom now, as you guys can see. Next is we're gonna install this thing, what's called the deadbolt. It's honestly pretty easy to install. It's gonna be a little bit hard to get into, but all it is two 14mm bolts where the springs sit. It's like a long bolt with some springs. Apparently that's where they come underneath and they cut it. I'm guessing they probably get the thieves get from under here. They cut those, and then that apparently makes it a lot easier to get this whole thing out. This covers those springs completely, and even if they were to cut the springs or the bolts from one end, the safety screw here will actually stop them, which is also tamper proof. Will stop the screw from completely falling out, so it'll stop that from the spring from falling out. So it'll stop the thieves from being able to just yank on the whole converter and pull this whole thing out if they were to cut it from another section. So let's get to it. Alright, so to get to those 14mm bolts, it's best to come from the back. As you can see, all I'm doing is just using a long socket, or an extension, what do you call it? Yeah, an extension. Dang, I haven't wrenched in a while. And then a wrench more. So yeah, the extension to a 14, and I'll be able to get these 14 out pretty easily. So let's keep going. So I've come into a little bit of a situation here. I can't get these 14mm bolts loose. I've used two of my bad girls right here, the small one, the big one. No dice. And I'm running out of time for today, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna install this cat shield, at least the part that covers this part. Ooh. And I'll just get to that one later. So this might be a two-part video, but for now, let's continue moving and installing this piece, and then we'll do that one possibly another day once I get either a better tool, or I can get this on a lift, take it to one of my buddy's shop, and they'll have air tools, and that might have the power to get that out. So for now, let's continue doing this part at least. Sorry guys. Alright, so first thing to install the cat shield in the bottom is to remove this here plastic flap, which is just going to be 3 10mm bolts. Let's get these out. Alright, cool. So next we're going to install the rivets on this hole and on this hole. So again, for reference, it's going to be the back part of the cat shield. It's going to be the holes right by the rubber hangers for the exhaust. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. Okay, the camera's still now. I already have one of the rivets pre-installed on the rivet tool. Just put it in the hole, align it kind of straight, and squeeze it. Once it's squeezed, just loosen it up from the bottom, and you have just riveted a hole Sweet. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Again, you put the rivet tool in the open position, you install said rivet, and then you do it again to the other side. So I'm gonna move the camera, hopefully we get a good angle of the other hole. Please be good. All right, and you just put it in the hole, and again, you just squeeze. Oh, this is an awkward position for me. Okay, I need to pre-position my hands a little better. Okay. I think this will work. Oh. Sorry, camera. Okay, so I dropped the camera. Position it better, and I think I'm in a good spot to squeeze this and install the rivet good. Okay. Whew, okay. Open this up. Twist these up. Come on, open up all the way. There it is. Then I'll be able to unscrew it. Oh gosh, I don't think I did this right. The whole rivet is spinning. Oh gosh, let's see if I can do this better. Can I just tighten you? Oh great, that's just spinning. Okay, there we go. Pinched it in a way where it can go back in. Let's see. Wasn't tight enough at first, I guess. That help? Did that help? Please tell me that helped. Yeah, it did. Sweet. Okay. So, I guess what we learned is make sure that the rivet is at least on there all the way good. Get loose. There it is. So we're good. Alright. Sweet. Now we can install the whole cat. Alright, cool. Hopefully that's a good angle for you guys, but I'm gonna start bringing this cat shield in. Alright. I'm gonna do the front first. Get that lined up. Let's see. That's lined up to the rivets. That looks like that'll work. And then now you just need to find those holes. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Hopefully you guys can see these, but these are also like tamper-proof bolts. They have like their own little pattern in there. Hopefully you guys can see that. And there's a special tool to get those nice and tight. So they really thought about how to secure this right. So for now, I'm just gonna put these tamper-proof nuts on them just to hold everything nice and tight. And then in the back, I am going to also loosely install the bolts that go to the rear. Let's go to the rear. I don't know how well you guys can see. Can you guys see what I'm pointing at? Ah, great. Always bumping into issues, aren't we? That looks like it's gonna be... Oh, I can bend the metal. Cool. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see this, but I'm going to install some of these. There's only 2 bolts in the rear. I'm gonna install them now. Nice and loose. Holes don't line up. At least one of the holes doesn't line up perfectly. So I had to not bend the metal, but force it to get into that shape, and luckily there's a little bit of give in it that it actually helps line up that hole. Again, you guys probably will not be able to see this part of it. I can put it in a better angle there, but that's it. Honestly, after that, I just tighten up these two bolts in the bottom, and then this thing in the front that uses this pretty cool tool to tighten it up. So that's honestly pretty easy, as you can see. So it looks like installed. Hopefully you guys can see it, but it's a pretty straightforward install. You don't need a lot of mechanical know-how. Sorry if the camera's shaking a lot. I'm in a weird position, but yeah, I'm gonna tighten these up and call it a day, and then eventually find out when I have time to get to that front one to put the deadbolt on. But that's pretty it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, let's tighten these up. So for the little security key for these nuts for the front panel, it's going to be a 15mm socket. So got the 15 mil, and then that goes in and fits perfectly. Next, we're going to put this on our ratchet, and we can go ahead and start tightening these bad boys up. Once you're done tightening up the front, and get your tamper-proof tool, and then you're gonna go in. Now we're gonna start tightening up these rear bolts. Pretty easy. They go in. Try your best not to over tighten them. That really sucks. So get one side nice and snug, switch on over to the other side, and repeat until both sides are nice and good. Bolt was giving me an issue. The rivet nut in the back that I inserted was spinning as I was tightening it up. So if you guys bump into that issue, instead of removing all of this that we just finished installing, I actually, now that I had in a way the spacer, I took off the bolt, I visualized this as a spacer. I got the rivet nut tool again. I managed to insert it again, and I re-tightened it. I guess I didn't tighten it up all the way. That's why it was spinning. So just make sure you guys tighten it up all the way, and your rivet nut hopefully doesn't spin. So now everything is nice and tight, and my cat is nice and protected. So that took a little longer than I wanted to, but I bumped into some issues, fixed the issues. Let's get out of here first. Hold on. Let's get out of here first. So there you guys have it. There is the cat shield, nice and installed. Ain't getting it no more. Now I feel a lot more comfortable driving around and parking in certain areas, because at first it sucked when they stole it the first time. Second time they stole it, I'm like, okay, great. That one hit a little bit home because I actually got to see them. I woke up because they were pulling the jack out of the Prius on our driveway, and I'm like, what the heck's that sound? I look out my window, I see the guys booking it with my cat in their hand, and yeah, they took off. There was like about 4 or 5 of them. Every part of me wanted to run out and confront them, but hearing stories around, there was an old man who apparently heard the same noise a couple weeks prior, went outside to find out what the ruckus was, and find these guys under his car, and ends up getting shot by these guys. So these guys are scum. These guys, makes my blood boil. These people are willing to kill somebody over a catalytic converter. But thanks to companies like Cat Shield, they're helping all of us stay protected at least a little bit longer, or at least making it a little bit harder for them to steal our cats. But yeah, it definitely sucked when it happened the second time. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. There is going to be a part 2 to this video now, since I didn't install that deadbolt part. I'm probably going to need a lift. If not, I need some sort of better tool to get in there. If I figure it out without needing a lift, I'll let you guys know what tool I ended up using. Definitely make a part 2, a follow-up to installing the deadbolt. But for now, I'm calling it a day. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it was insightful. And hopefully you guys stick around. Continue to watch the channel grow. and continue to watch our progress into Formula Drift. I know I haven't filmed a lot of drifting videos and a lot of more Z videos, but believe me, I am trying. I am working stuff in the background to get more parts and set myself up for success. When I hit the track, I hit the track hard. So thank you guys all for, riding along. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking, and continuing to be part of the Drift Geek family. So really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day.